All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Sunday watch list. Last week was a very interesting week. We did catch a big rally. Now, in my last Sunday watch list, I did kind of have like a bearish outtake on it. I had a very nice rejection level, but that's why I always like to give two scenarios where if we do reclaim a level, the move to the other direction is valid, right? You never want to be too biased on one direction, and you have to be able to adjust to these market conditions, especially if it's a week with CPI, PPI, initial jobless claims. So that was last week, right? We had a lot of news and a lot of the catalysts came out good. So this week, let's see the catalysts that we have coming into this week. Starting off with Monday, US leading economic indicators is going to be at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Usually those 10 a.m., 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time have some type of reaction. Tuesday, we have some Fed speaking later on in the day. And then Wednesday, we have FOMC minutes. So it's not the actual FOMC meeting. It happens usually a couple weeks after the actual FOMC meeting, and it's just like a recap of what they talked about. And then the last one, I believe they talked about potentially cutting interest rates in September. So it could potentially be bullish. We'll see. I don't want to add too much bias, but there isn't as big as a reaction to this one compared to like the actual FOMC meeting. Thursday, we have initial jobless claims again. And then Friday, Jerome Powell is gonna speak at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's gonna be big on Friday. Pay attention to that. Now going into the actual charts here. Let me move this over here. Let's start off with SPY and QQ. Starting off with SPY and QQ, like I said, last week we completely reversed and broke back above this rejection level here. This was my rejection level last week, and we reclaimed it. So now that we're above this level, this is going to be my game plan coming into the week. So let's take everything off here. And notice how we have broken out of this downtrend. We are no longer on this downtrend. The most recent area of supply and demand is going to be this area as supply, because notice how here, every time we come into this 555 to 556 area, we do catch bounces here, rejections here, rejection here. So this is a very key level of supply. The trend right now is currently back on to the upside. So if I grab a trend line from here to where we're currently at, we are currently holding this trend line. Like even if I go to a smaller time frame, you'll see the touches on it, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to see if we hold this trend line and get a clean break and hold above this supply zone. It will turn to demand. And as long as we hold above, then we should have room up to 559 and psychological 560. So that is our next target if we do keep pushing higher. Now, say we do catch a pullback. If we were to catch a pullback, our nearest area was this 550, 551, which we did catch a bounce off of on Friday. If you notice, that was Friday's pre-market low, and we held that area very, very well. So this is a key level as well, 551 to 550. Do we hold this? Or if we get back below that, where does that give us room down to? If we get back below 550, it gives us room down to 548. This 548 level is important because it was a big support here and a huge resistance here. We completely broke above that. So this 548 level is going to be very, very important for us. So there's two, if you want to go like in a scalp, if you want to scalp below 550, gives you room to 548. It's a good move. Above 555, 556 gives us room to 559, 560. Those are pretty good moves on SPY. We just have to see if the trend holds or not. And pullbacks are normal. So even if we do a pullback, I won't be completely bearish unless we start, getting back below 548. Because then that'll give us room down to this area here. Is 542. And then this demand zone at 538, 537. So that is like my game plan with SPY. Following the trend right now, as long as we hold above 550, 551, reclaim 555, 556. Those are the next levels that we have room to. Now, getting into QQQ, very similar chart here, right? We have broken out of this downtrend that was looking like this. We even broke, retested. Now we are currently on an uptrend. And let's do this. Now we are currently on an uptrend. Let me remove this alert here. The nearest area of supply and demand is going to be this area here, which we're literally currently sitting in right now. And it's getting respected as supply because we failed to break it on Friday. As you can see, this is a huge level of demand here, demand, supply, and then supply again here. In order for me to be bullish, I need to see a clean break and hold, a clean candle closure above this zone. And the next level will be like 480. And I want to show you guys something on the daily chart. On the daily chart, there's a gap fill above 475, 476, all the way up to 480. So that is going to be a high. That's going to be on high watch for me. On daily, we're still coming up with strength. This weekly candle was very strong. This is a morning star candlestick pattern. If you guys don't know what a morning star candlestick pattern is, this is a morning star candlestick. Looks like this. It is a bullish candlestick pattern. And that is what is currently forming here. We have this one, this one, and this one. Very strong. And that's really what I want to see. Now, let's say we do happen to reject that level. Below that, we have room down to 467.86, really like 468, we could say, right? Because it was a previous huge resistance back here, and it could potentially turn to support here if it does try to hold anything below this level. That is where I'll be looking for a move back down to this zone down here. I really like this area too. 460 down to like the 455 area. Like this right here. So 461, and then this demand zone from down here. Those would be the levels to the downside if things do get very weak here. This is a big supply here. Look what happened here last time. Huge reject. What's gonna happen up here? We have to see. We have to see, do we reclaim? Do we hold? Keep showing strength up to 480? Or do we fall back below it? It's gonna be very important to be patient at these levels this week. Now going into individual tickers, Apple, right? Apple showing a lot of strength. We are on this uptrend on Apple. And this 226.7 area was a big demand back here, supply here, and currently using it as supply. So if we happen to break and retest this area above, this gives us room up into 230, really, like 230 and back into the 232 area. So this is keeping this one very simple. Those are the levels I'd be watching on the daily. We're showing a lot of strength, not a single red candle since August 5th. And nothing but room on this name, even on the weekly. Very, very strong weekly candle. So that is what I will be watching on Apple. Next up is Amazon. I actually really do like this setup. So I'm seeing a lot of good setups for the week, to be honest. Here we have Amazon. Amazon, we reclaimed an area of demand. It was demand back here. And look at the move you get off of this demand. We can make a move all the way up to like 186. Here, demand on July 31st, move all the way up into the 190s. Now we're back above it. So if we retest this 174 area, this gives us room back into 181. And the reason why I say 181 is because on the daily chart, we have a gap fill on Amazon, 181.76. So this is what the risk reward ratio would look like. Literally, if we come here, bounce off this demand, I would like to buy the dip on Amazon for room to 180. That it looks amazing because this, if it breaks back below that demand zone, okay, I'll accept I'm wrong. Very small risk. And then the potential that it has to fill the gap, it's a good reward, good risk reward ratio. These are the type of setups I like, following the uptrend and sticking to it. So I really do like Amazon for this week. Gonna pay close attention to this one. Next up is Nvidia. Nvidia, the dip got bought up off of Nvidia at 100 very, very well. We broke back out of this downtrend and we are now on an uptrend here. Let's see if I can draw that better. It looks all right. Okay, so recent area of resistance here, recent area of supply is going to be, I believe, this area from here to like right here. And we're currently sitting exactly in it. Notice how it was support back here, resistance, resistance, and resistance. So for me to be bullish on NVIDIA, I need to see a clean break and retest above that 125 level. And we should have room up into 127 and 130. Anything above 130 is 132.5. Those are my next targets on NVIDIA. Just keeping it very, very simple. If it does get above this 125 and hold, it is currently showing strength. Weekly candle is very strong, right? This is like an engulfing these previous candles back here. It's like a morning star as well on the weekly. We have volume behind this name. There's a lot of bullish signs on this name right now. Now for the downside, if it does reject this, get below the trend line, I'd say below 120.5 gives us room to 118. Yeah, like 118, 117 area. Those would be my next targets to the downside if NVIDIA does happen to reject aggressively here. But as of right now, we are showing strength. So that is gonna be my watch for NVIDIA. So far, we have SPY, QQ. I really like Amazon, one of my favorite ones. NVIDIA looks great as well. And going into Tesla, this name, right? This 205 level was huge. 205 level was major. So we reclaimed that level and we're trying to get a push higher as of right now. So we have this trend line from here to here to here. As long as this trend line keeps holding, this is going to be another key level to this trend line. That goes down this way. So that is currently what we're rejecting right now, like that 220 area. So for me to be bullish on Tesla, I need to see a reclaim and hold of 220. Above this trend line gives us room into 226 on Tesla. It should give us room into 226. Let me clear all this again. Start over just so you guys can see. So we have this downwards trend line. I want to see us reclaim that 220 level. If we happen to get above 220, next area is like 231, but in between there is a level here at 226. So those would be the next targets to the upside. If we happen to get back below 210 on Tesla, we're pushing back down to 205. So just keeping it as simple as that. Below 210 is room to 205, which would probably come and retest this trend line again. Above 220, it gives us room to 226 and 231. I think I'm gonna keep it as simple as that. I have one more high probability setup that I do really, really like, and this is a bull flag on StarBucks. This is a bull flag on StarBucks, right? StarBucks has been showing a lot of strength ever since they got a new CEO, which was a previous CEO from Chipotle. And if you see here on the daily, these are inside bars where there's 3 candles inside of this previous large candle. Now, what we would wait for is a break either at the top of the candle or the bottom of the candle. Since we're bull flagging, I'm leaning more towards the upside. And the next target is 98 on StarBucks. 98. If we happen to break above 98, 100 psychological level is definitely in play. So I think it's a great risk reward ratio here. Gonna be looking for break and holds of 96. I want to see this trend line here hold from here to here. As long as we're above that trend line, that would be my risk. As long as we can stay above this trend line here, right? These are the targets on StarBucks. So on the weekly, it looks very strong. Doesn't look like that's a candle I don't want to short just yet. Monthly looks very, very strong. So keep an eye on this name closely this week. I think this name is ready to get that second leg up. So other than that, a long-term play that I do see incoming is PayPal. PayPal has been on a downtrend and we are starting to consolidate and base out here as we are breaking out of this falling wedge, right? We're holding 60 very well, already double bottomed here at 60. And this is going to be an amazing long-term play up into 76. So PayPal is a slow mover, so I'd buy like months, maybe like a month out on this 76 call play. If you are looking more for something long-term like a swing trade, I think this has potential. So other than that, that's going to be the Sunday watch list. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great trading week, and I will keep the watch this is updated in my broadcast channel on Instagram _Lex Trades. Other than that, thank you guys for watching and have a good trading week. Peace.